Hello student, today we are going to study NCERT class 8 history chapter 2. The name of the chapter is From Trade to Territory, the company established power. Means here in this chapter what we have to going to learn how the Britisher came in India and how I established their powers. If we recall the first chapter, in that chapter what we have learned that in this 4 year in class 8, what we have to learn in the history, how the historians divided the in the history the how the historians divided the history into how many periods, that is three, that is the ancient, medieval and the modern. Then earlier the Britishers were divided the history of the India in the three periods, that is the Hindu, Muslim and Britishers. So these are the things like from which place, from the which scenario, how the historians do the numerous of the surveys from which they compile one book, and by which they divide the history, and that on the basis of the evidence, on the basis of the diary writings, on the basis of the autobiography, on the basis of the how the personality they are, on the basis of the local stories, on the basis of the booklet which were selling in the market, from all the stuff, from the official records, from the manuscript, from the inscription, from the coins, from all this stuff where they used to get the evidence, they used to write a particular thing, that this particular thing has happened over that time and this particular thing is happened over that time. These are the certain ways in which we can say that what are the particular thing which has happened over the particular time. So in this chapter what we are going to learn, from for which purpose British used to came in India, like which I already explained in the first chapter, that they used to come India for the trade purpose, for the business purpose, especially from which thing they just fascinated. They're fascinated by the crop, or which kind of crop they want. So they came in India for the trade purpose, for the business purpose. Slowly and gradually they come to know that they want to conquer, they want to establish their power over the country. So they start from the South India, where they used to fought with the French and the Dutchies, that you will come to know when we go to read this chapter. Then they used to come over there, then slowly and gradually start establish their power from the South India, from the Bengal, then slowly and gradually to all over the India. So in the first part of the video, which point we have to cover, the East India Company, the colonial you can say, the British you can say, we used to call them as earlier that the East India Company. The East India Company began the trade in Bengal. Then they started the trade in Bengal. That's why we're going to study in detail. Now, how trade led to the better, how the trade used to turn in battles, is all the things we're going to learn in this chapter. So from the trade to territories, like earlier this coming from the trade and they come for the business, and how they starting over the territories, how they conquer or how they establishing their rules on the India, that you will come to know in this chapter, that you can say the base or the root, how they started to come in India and they start starting their rule over it. And until the 1947, they were in the India, and the company established their power. Like there is the thing, the only 1 lakh of the Britishers. Like in the further chapters, you will come to know only 1 lakh of the Britishers, they were ruling over the crores of Indians. Think about it, how much intelligent they are, how much practical they are. Only 1 lakh Britishers used to rule over the crores of the Indians, and how we do not have that much of the guts at that time that we can run away the Britishers, because we have the fear that they are the rich and we are the poor, they are the civilized, we are the uncivilized, they are the literate, we are the illiterate. So they have certain kind of fear they have, that we can't have that courage to eradicate the people towards the England. So they started, initially they just started, you can say the first phase, like number of the people over a period of time for getting the independence, they used to fight for our independence. But you can say the core, the root which is started for the independence, that is in revolt of 1857, which we are going to learn in the further chapters. Now begin from this, the first page, what I have written over there, that Aurangzeb was the last powerful Mughal ruler. That is absolutely correct. There are in the Mughals, the Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shahjahan, and the Aurangzeb. The most powerful ruler, you can say, not the last ruler, the powerful ruler of the Mughal was the Aurangzeb. He established the control over a very large part of the territory. that is known as India. Yes, he used to rule over the many parts of the India. You can left the Deccan, but most of the part of the India he used to rule. And after his death in 1707, the Mughal governor, that is the Subedars, and his big Zamindar began arresting their authority and starving their regional kingdom. After the death of the Aurangzeb, they start starving the regional kingdom in the sense like a particular region or the particular place having their own king. And as the powerful regional kingdom emerged in the various parts of the India, so the powerful emergence of the kingdom at the various part of the India, Delhi could no longer function as the respected center. Now, after this, Delhi is not an effective center, the powerful center of the India at that time. By the second half of the 18th century, however, the new power was emergent on the political horizon, the British. Yani now the new political horizon is coming to over there. That is the Britishers. Then, did you know the British originally came was a small trading company? Yes, which I already explained that in the previous video and this video as well. They used to come over here for the trading purpose. And how did they came to the master of the vast empire? That you were going to come to know in this chapter, like how they used to conquer all over the India. In this chapter, you will see how they came out. You can see this first image. It's of the Bahadur Shah Jafar, the last Mughal king or the last Mughal emperor of the India. The Bahadur Shah Jafar and his son began arrested by the captain Hudson. After the Aurangzeb, there was no powerful ruler, but the Mughal emperor continued to symbolize the important. In fact, when a massive rebellion against the British rule broke in 1857, Bahadur Shah Zafar, the Mughal emperor at that time, was seen as the natural leader because under his leadership, the number of the revolutionaries came over there to fight against the Britishers because we want our independence. Bahadur Shah was forced to leave the kingdom and his son was shot to cold blood. Means the Britishers has forced to the Bahadur Shah Jafar, you have to leave this kingdom, and they killed his two sons. So this is the picture of where you can see the Bahadur Shah is arrested by the British officials and his two sons is murdered, or you can say killed by the cloud blooded. Now you can see this route, how the route is. You can see this map, how they used to come over there from Africa to till the Cape of Good Hope, then towards the India. Then they from the south, they came here for the trading purpose, like for the spice. You can say the black pepper, cardamom, the cinnamon. These are the different spices. These are the different, you can say, spices they used to take from the India towards the different parts of the Europe. I'm not taking only the particular country that is Britain or the England, to the different parts of the Europe we used to do this. You can see here, they start from the Britain Island, then from towards the Africa, that is South Africa, Cape of Good Hope. From that, they used to come towards the India. So you can see how they used to come for the trade purpose. In this, roots of the India in the 18th century. It's of the 18th century. Now come towards this, East India Company began their comes in the here for the trade purpose. But before that, we were going to this East India Company. That one. In 1600, East India Company acquired a a charter from the ruler of England, Queen Elizabeth I, granting a sole right to trade with the East. And that she can granted you can go towards the East and you can do the trade. So, granted is the sole right to trade with the East. That means that no other trading group in England could compare the East India Company. That is true. That I will tell you one more fact. The Britishers in the earlier times, they are that much powerful. Like they used to rule over the most of the countries of this globe. Means ब्रिटिशर्स पहले के टाइम में इतने ज्यादा पावरफुल थे कि वर्ल्ड की वो बहुत सारी कंट्री पर क्या कर रहे थे रूल कर रहे थे till now they are ruling there are some few countries still now they are ruling but the people of that particular country are very much happy with the britishers and number of the people just like we are not very much happy with the britishers so we fought for our independence that we don't like you this is our country this, where we want our rules we want our freedom you have to leave our country so we fight for our freedom there are the number of countries they also fought for their freedom and they got the independence. So these are the certain things where the Queen Elizabeth I they granted the permission to the East India Company. You go towards the East, you can do the trade, and after that, none of the you can say the powerful warrior over that time that is the East India Company is the powerful company, or you can say the powerful emperor, or they say the colonial, or you could say the British at that time, they were very much powerful. That meant that there no other trading group in England could be compete to East India Company. वो ये मानना था कि ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी को कोई भी compete नहीं कर सकता क्योंकि वो बहुत ज्यादा powerful थे. With the charter, the company could venture across the ocean because they used to go across the ocean looking for the new lands from which it could buy good at the cheap price because they want to buy the good at the cheaper price, carry them back to the Europe to all the higher price. They used to buy this product from these Asian countries at a very cheaper rate and they used to sell it at the different parts of the Europe or the different parts of the यूरोप एट अ वेरी हाई प्राइस सो यू कैन थिंक अबाउट किस तरह से वो एशियन कंट्रीज से सस्ते में चीजों को ले जाते थे यूरोप की जो डिफरेंट कंट्रीज थी डिफरेंट पार्ट्स थे उसमें वो लोग इन सभी चीजों को काफी हाई प्राइस में बेचते थे carry them back to the Europe to all set the higher price. The company did not have to fear the competition from the other English trading companies. They do not have to fear with the other English trading companies. Mercantiles, what the mercantiles means a business enterprise that makes the profit primarily through the trade, buying the goods cheap and selling them. Mercantile means यानी कि जो चीजें हमने सस्ते में खरीदी है फिर उसको हाई प्राइस पे बेचते उसको बोला जाता है mercantile. You have to keep this thing in mind what the mercantile is. They will ask you in the MCQs or as well as in your question answer as well in the defined form what the mercantile is. The people used to come for the trade or for the business purpose. They used to buy the particular good at the cheaper price and they used to sell it in their own country or the different parts of their country to at the higher price. So this you have to write that is the meaning of the merchantiles. Mercantile trading companies in those days made the profit primarily by excluding the competition. They used to do the profit at a very higher price because they used to sell the good at the higher price. They have the lots of, you can say they used to earn lots of money by which they have the profit and they do not find any kind of competitor with them. So they could buy cheap and sell dear. Means वो सस्ता खरीदते थे और महंगा बेचते थे. The Royal Charter, however, could not prevent other European power. तो इस चीज में जो यूरोपियन पावरफुल लोग थे वो ऐसे कुछ नहीं कर फ्रॉम एंटरिंग द ईस्ट इंडिया जो कुड नॉट द रॉयल चार्टर हाउएवर कुड नॉट प्रिवेंट अदर यूरोपियन पावर एंटरिंग द ईस्टर्न मार्केट. यहाँ पे जो पे काफी पैसे वाले लोग थे जो काफी बिजनेस करने वाले लोग थे वो भी अपने आप को नहीं रोक पाए इस ईस्टर्न ट्रेडिंग मार्केट में. बाय द टाइम द फर्स्ट इंग्लिश शिप sailed down the west coast of Africa, that is the west coast of Africa. This is the Africa, this is the west coast, which way I already explained in the map. They used to come over here for the trading purpose in India from the Britain. Then they cross the Cape of Good Hope, that is you can see in the South Africa and towards the South India. Then go west coast of Africa, round of Cape of Good Hope, and across the Indian Ocean. The Portuguese has already established their presence in the western coast of India, which I already explained in the starting of this video that the Portuguese and Dutchies have already there have the rule. यानी Portuguese जो judges जो थे उनको पहले से इंडिया पे रूल था. तो in the South India and that had their base in the Goa. उनका base कहाँ था? गोवा में था. In fact, it was the Vasco da Gama. Earlier, the name of the Goa is the Vasco da Gama. That you have to keep this in mind because they ask you in the MCQs as well. A Portuguese explorer, he used to come from the Portugal or the Portuguese that who had discovered the sea route in India. उसने यानी इंडिया की तरफ आने के लिए उसी ने सी रूट को डिस्कवर किया गया था. किसने? वास्को डी गामा ने. मैंने अभी आपको बताया कि गोवा का पहले नाम वास्को डी गामा ही था. In 1498, by the early 17th century, the Dutch too were exploring the possibilities to trade the Indian Ocean. Soon the French trader arrived on the scene. पहले जो डच थे फिर उसका फ्रांस के पीपल आए फिर उसके बाद पोर्टुगीज आए then finally कौन आया? डचेस. You have to keep this in mind. Earlier there were the Dutches, after that were the Francis, or you can say the French people. Then after that there were the Portuguese people, and after that finally there were the British. Who over the period of time they used to come here in India for the trade purpose. The problem was that all the companies were interested in buying the same thing. They want to buy the same thing, especially the spices, because they don't find the spices in their foreign country. They used to find this spices in the India only. They find qualities of cotton. The cotton is very much good of India. Then silk produced in India had a big market. Yes, it is a very much big market of the silk market that is in India and the China. In the Europe, paper, clothes, cardamoms, and which I already explained in the starting of this video. They came here for the difference whether this pepper that is called बोलते काली मिर्च, then cardamom that is means इलायची, cinnamon means जिसको हम दालचीनी बोलते हैं, were in the great demand. Competition among the European companies inevitably pushed up the price at which this good could be purchased. अब यूरोपियन कंपनीज में कंपटीशन होना स्टार्ट हो गया, वो लोग इन चीजों को किस पे बेचते थे, हायर प्राइस में बेचते थे और लोग वह खरीदते भी थे. एंड दिस रिड्यूस द प्रॉफिट दैट कुड बी अर्न. अब इससे क्या हुआ, उनका प्रॉफिट जो वो अर्न करे तो रिड्यूस होगा, क्योंकि आप जितने ज्यादा हायर प्राइस में बेचोगे तो कोई ना कोई कंपटीशन में तो होगा कि जो उसी प्रोडक्ट को सस्ते प्राइस में बेचेगा, तो लोग वक्त तो वही सस्ती चीजें खरीदने, महंगी क्यों खरीदेंगे, तो इसमें क्या होने लग गया, प्रॉफिट कम होने लग गया. The only way the trading company could flourish was by eliminating the rival competition. अब अगर उनको लोगों का दिल जीतना है और उनका प्रॉफिट करना है तो उनको क्या करना होगा, उनको अपने राइवल से यानी कंपटीशन में कुछ ऐसा करना होगा अपने कंपटीटर के साथ कि वो प्रॉफिट को कमा सके. So the urge to secure the market therefore led to the fears the battle within the trading companies. अब क्या हुआ, जो ये यूरोपियन के ट्रेडिंग कंपनीज थी उसमें फाइट होना स्टार्ट हो गया. थ्रू द 17th 18th centuries दे रेगुलरली सेंक ईच अदर शिप. अब ये लोग क्या करते थे कि जो ये शिप में इंडिया से सामान ले जाते थे उन शिपों को पानी में डुबो देते थे, यानी डुबा देते हैं. एंड ब्लॉकेट द रूट्स, और रूट्स को क्या कर देते, ब्लॉक कर देते थे. एंड प्रिवेंट द राइवल शिप फ्रॉम मूविंग द विद द सप्लाई. अब दूसरे शिप को क्या कर देते, मूव करने नहीं देते थे, यानी उनके बीच में कॉम्पिटिशन स्टार्ट हो गया कि हम जो अपना सामान ले जा रहे वो हम बेचेंगे, तुम नहीं. तो एक बैरियर्स लगा दे जिससे शिप जो आगे ना जा सके. Trade was carried on with the arms and trading posts were protected through the fortification. अब इसमें क्या किया जाता था, यानी आर्म्स यानी कि you can say the weapons, और trading post was protected through the fortification. And now you are thinking what the fortification is. Fortification एक तरह का गोडाउन जैसा होता था which is made up of the brick in which they used to put their all the arms or amenities and the goods in that by which they can use to protect that particular the weapons and the goods by which none of the other competitor or you can say the other person can looted their arms or looted their goods, by which they can protect their particular goods and arm and they can sell it in the European market at the very higher price. The effort for the fortified settlement carry on the profitable trade also led to intense conflict with the local rulers. अब इसमें क्या हुआ, जब इन्होंने fortified settlement किया, जब इनका ट्रेड जो प्रॉफिट में हो रहा, प्रॉफिट ये लोग जब ज्यादा कमा रहे थे तो जो लोकल लोग थे बेचने वाले उनके साथ इनका क्या स्टार्ट हो, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट स्टार्ट हो गया. द कंपनी therefore found it difficult to separate the trade from the politics. अब इसमें क्या हुआ, बहुत डिफिकल्ट था कि ट्रेड और पॉलिटिक्स को अलग रखा जाए, और उसमें भी क्या कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होना स्टार्ट हो गया. Now you can see the East India Company begins trade in Bengal. किस तरह से बंगाल में आए, उन्होंने ट्रेड करना स्टार्ट किया. The first English factory was set up in the bank of river Hooghly. Hooghly is where in Kolkata in 1961, जहाँ पे इंग्लिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी ने फैक्ट्री सेटअप की. This was the base from which the company traded known at the time as the factor. तभी कंपनी जो ये ट्रेडर्स थे उन्होंने इसको क्या नाम दिया गया, फैक्टर्स नाम दिया, फैक्टर्स ऑपरेटेड का नाम दिया गया. द फैक्ट्री हैड अ वेयर हाउस वेयर, एक उसमें वेयर हाउस था, वेयर हाउस जिसको बोला जिसमें हम सामान रखते हैं, स्टोर करते हैं. गुड्स फॉर एक्सपोर्टेड वर स्टोर, यानी वो इंडिया से सामान खरीद के द चीपर रेट में उस वेयर हाउस में रखते थे जिससे कि उस पर्टिकुलर सामान को एक्सपोर्ट कर सके. इंपोर्ट मीन्स the things which used to come from one foreign country to our country, that is called the import. And if we are sending one product to the another country, that is called the export. And it has the offices where the company officials said as trade exported, sorry, as the trade expanded, the company pursued the merchant traders to come and settle near the factory. यानी जिस तरह से उनका ट्रेड बढ़ेगा, उनके कंपनी के प्रॉफिट्स बढ़ेंगे, तो यहाँ पे जो कंपनी के लोग हैं उनको यहाँ पे रहना होगा और अपनी क्या करना, ये फैक्ट्री के नियर बाय अपना यानी सेटलमेंट करना होगा. सेटलमेंट इन द सेंस जहाँ जहाँ इन्होंने फैक्ट्री बनाए, जहाँ जहाँ इन्होंने वेयर हाउस बनाए, जैसे जैसे इनका प्रॉफिट बढ़ेगा, जैसे जैसे इनका ट्रेड बढ़ेगा, उनको ये वहाँ पे रहना पड़ेगा. So by 1696 it began building a fort. फिर 1696 इन्होंने फोर्ट बना around the settlement. 2 years later it bribed the Mughal official. फिर उसके पहले उन्होंने क्या किया, एक ये कह सकते हैं बिल्डिंग बनवाई नियर बाय द फोर्ट. फिर 2 साल के बाद जो मुगल ऑफिशियल्स होते थे यानी जो गवर्नर या सूबेदार होते थे उन्होंने इनको ब्राइब देना स्टार्ट कर दिया उसके बाद the two elected bribed the Mughal official into giving the company जमींदारी rights over the 3 villages. उनको क्या लालच दिया गया कि हम आपको जमींदारी देंगे 3 villages में. One of this was the कोलकाता, उसमें से एक था कोलकाता, which later grew into the city of Calcutta. Earlier it was Calcutta, now it's Kolkata. As it known today, it also pursued the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb to issue the फरमान. इसमें बिकॉज उस टाइम औरंगजेब था तो उसको भी इशू किया गया, फरमान इशू किया गया. अब फरमान और रॉयल एडिक्ट और रॉयल ऑर्डर, फरमान उसको कहा जाता है एक रॉयल ऑर्डर, यानी इसको सबको मानना पड़ेगा. ग्रांटिंग द कंपनी द राइट टू ट्रेड द ड्यूटी फ्री, यानी एक फरमान ऐसे जारी किया गया कि जो भी ब्रिटिश ऑफिशियल इंडिया से ब्रिटेन में सामान ले जाएंगे इट शुड बी ड्यूटी फ्री, यानी किसी भी तरह का कोई टैक्स या फिर कोई रेवेन्यू नहीं लगाया जाएगा उनके ऊपर. तो Aurangzeb had passed the farman that if the British official takes some of the, you can say the product from the India, there it should be free from them. Then the company that continues to press for the more concession and manipulation, excessive privilege. अब इसमें जो ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी थी वो बहुत ज्यादा चाह रही थी, बहुत ज्यादा मैनिपुलेट कर रही थी कि हमें और ज्यादा कंसेशन मिले और हमें और ज्यादा प्रिविलेजेस मिले, यानी हमें और ज्यादा लग्जरियस लाइफ जीने को मिलता है. और फॉर इंस्टेंस लेट टू ग्रांट द कंपनी राइट टू ट्रेड ड्यूटी फ्री. तो उन्होंने फिर औरंगजेब में बाद में आके उनको ये जो जितना भी सामान था ड्यूटी फ्री कर दिया कि आप एक जगह से दूसरी जगह मुफ्त के ले जा सकते हो. मुफ्त इन द सेंस लाइक दे buying the product at a cheaper rate, but for taking the particular product from one place to the another, they do not have to give the price or the charge of that particular ship. Who were carried on the private trade on the side were expected to pay duty. This they refused to pay and causing an enormous loss of the revenue of the Bengal. इसमें revenue बहुत ज़्यादा loss हुआ बंगाल का. How could the Nawab of Bengal, Murshid Quli Khan, not protest? The local boats bring good from the ship or in Madras painted by William Shempson in 1867. You can see this. He made his painting where the used to come with this product in this one. You can see the river over here. You can see the warehouses and there's the settlement. You can see like the local boats bring the goods from the ship in Madras, painted by the William Simpson in 1867. And how beautifully he painted this. Now you can see this picture of Robert Clive or the Robert Clive. He is the governor. Now come towards this, how the trade led to the battles. किस तरह से ट्रेड के बाद बैटल हुआ. Through the early 18th century, the conflict between the company and the Nawabs of the Bengal intensified. अब यहाँ पे कंपनी ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी और जो बंगाल के नवाब थे उनके बीच लड़ाई कैसे स्टार्ट हुई वो उसके बारे में. आफ्टर द डेथ ऑफ औरंगजेब, the Bengal Nawab asserted the power and autonomy as the other religious power were. जैसे ही औरंगजेब की डेथ हुई तो जो वहां का नवाब था उसने सारी पावर्स अपने अंडर ले ली. The word is the autonomy under which power of doing that, जिसका नाम था मुर्शिद किल खान, was followed by उसके बाद जब वो डेथ हुई तो उसके बाद अली वर्दी खान, then सिराजुद्दौला as the Nawab of बंगाल. Each one of them was strong rulers. सभी strong थे. चाहे हम बात करें मुर्शिद किल खान की, we talk about Ali Wardi Khan, we talk about the Sirajuddaulah, all are the very much powerful Nawab at that time of Bengal. Then they refused to grant the company concession because the none of them are not in that you can say the dilemma where they want to give the Britishers to take the particular product at the free of cost or the duty free cost. मीन जो तीनों लोग थे वो नहीं चाहते थे कि ब्रिटिशर्स जो सामान यहाँ इंडिया से ले जा रहे हैं वो कैसे ले जाएं, ड्यूटी फ्री ले जाए. वो ये चाहते थे कि वो उनको कोई भी तरह का कंसेशन है, कंसेशन बहुत कम दिए. डिमांड लार्ज ट्रिब्यूट्स फॉर द कंपनी राइट फॉर द ट्रेड, यानी वो लोग जो है इस ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी से ये बोल रहे थे जो सामान आप इंडिया से अपने कंट्री में ले जा रहे हो उसके लिए आपको ज्यादा प्राइस पे करना पड़ेगा. डिनाइंग एनी राइट ऑफ मिंट कॉइंस एंड स्टॉप इट फ्रॉम एक्सटेंडिंग विद द फोर्टिफिकेशन. और फिर उन्होंने ब्रिटिशर्स ने मना कर दिया कि हम आपको किसी भी तरह का कॉइन नहीं देंगे और किसी भी तरह का फोर्टिफिकेशन नहीं करवाएंगे. According to Company of Descent, they claimed that the company was depriving the Bengal government of the huge amount of revenue undermining the authority of Nawab. It was refusing to pay tax and writing disrespectful letters and trying to humiliate the Nawab and its official. अब यहाँ पे ब्रिटिशर्स ने एक चालाकी तरह से करी. वो लोग क्या करते थे, उन्होंने बहुत बड़ा अमाउंट देने को मना कर दिया और वो लोग डिसरिस्पेक्टफुल यानी रिस्पेक्टफुल लेटर्स नहीं, बहुत गालियां भरे लेटर्स लिखते थे कि हम आपकी किसी भी तरह का कोई भी इतना बड़ा लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ रेवेन्यू नहीं देंगे। फिर उन्होंने इन नवाब को और जो उनके ऑफिशियल्स यानी जो उनके सूबेदार वगैरह थे या उनके जो गवर्नर थे उनको परेशान करना स्टार्ट कर दिया कि हम आपको किसी भी तरह का कोई रेवेन्यू नहीं देंगे। द कंपनी नाउ इट्स द पार्ट डिक्लेयर द अनजस्ट डिमांड फॉर द लोकल ऑफिशियल्स वाज ड्यूरिंग द ट्रेड ऑफ द कंपनी। अब इसमें क्या हुआ कि इस तरह से जो अनजस्ट डिमांड करने लग गए थे ये लोग, जो मुर्शिद किल खान थे एंड अली वर्दी खान एंड दी सुराजुद्दौला, तो इसमें क्या हुआ, कंपनी जो यहाँ से सामान ले जा रही थी ब्रिटेन की तरफ, तो उसमें क्या बहुत ज्यादा डिले आना स्टार्ट हो गया। द ट्रेड कुड फ्लरिश ऑन इट्स ड्यूटी वर रिवोल्ट। जो ट्रेड फ्लरिश हो रहा था पर जब ड्यूटीज लगने लगी तो वो क्या करना पड़ा, रिमूव करना पड़ा। इट वाज आल्सो कन्विंस्ड दैट टू एक्सपांड द ट्रेड हैड टू एनलार्ज इट्स सेटलमेंट बाय अप द विलेजेस विलेज फोर्स। इन्होंने क्या किया कि इन्होंने लोगों को कन्विंस किया, फिर इन्होंने विलेजेस को खरीदा, फिर वहां पर सेटलमेंट्स बनाए, फिर उसके बाद इन्होंने वहां पे फोर्ट्स को क्या क्या रीबिल्ड। दिस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट लेड टू द कन्फ्रंटेशन द फाइनली क्यूमुलेटेड विद द फेमस बैटल ऑफ प्लासी। फिर इन जो बंगाल के नवाब थे और फिर भी बंगाल के जो ये गवर्नर थे जो ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी के, इन लोगों के बीच जो बहुत बड़ी लड़ाई हुई जिसको हम बोलते हैं बैटल ऑफ प्लासी। इट इज द biggest battle, or you can say the first battle between the Indians and the Britishers. So when the Ali Wardi Khan died in 1756, Siraj-ud-Dowla became the Bengal Nawab. The company was worried about his power because keen on the puppet ruler who would willingly give the trade concession and the privileges. The puppet means literally a toy that you can move with the strings. पपेट आपका अच्छा था, जो पपेट शो हम देखते हैं राजा साहब उसी होता है जिसको हम कैसे भी तरह से घुमाए हिलाएं वो घूम सकता है। दिस टर्म इज यूज्ड इन डिसअप्रूविंग टू रेफर टू अ पर्सन हु इज कंट्रोलिंग बाय समवन एल्स, यानी कोई दूसरा किसी के बारे में कंट्रोल किया जा रहा है, तो वो सारी चीजें इसमें देखी गई। Puppet ruler who would willingly give the trade concession other privileges, so it tried through the without the success to help one of Sirajuddaulah rebels become the Nawab, and in Frederickate, Sirajuddaulah asked the company to stop meddling in the political affairs of his domain, stop the fortification, and pay the revenues. After the negotiation failed, the Nawab marched with the 30,000 soldiers to the English factory that is Kasami Bazaar. अब इसमें क्या हुआ कि सिराजुद्दौला कंपनी से बोला आप जो है हमारे किसी भी चीज में मेल्डिंग में पॉलिटिकल अफेयर किसी भी तरह का दखल अंदाजी मत करो और फोर्टिफिकेशन यानी फोर्ट्स मत बनाओ और पे द रेवेन्यू, हमारा रेवेन्यू पे करो। तो अगर जब आफ्टर नेगोशिएशन फेल, जब अगर नेगोशिएशन नहीं हो पाया तो नवाब जो सिराजुद्दौला था वो अपने 30,000 सोल्जर्स को लेकर कहाँ गया, इंग्लिश फैक्ट्री में जो कहाँ था कासमी बाजार के पास। कैप्चर द कंपनी ऑफिशियल्स, वहां पे उसने जो कंपनी के जो ऑफिसर्स थे उसको कैप्चर किया एंड लॉक द वेयरहाउस को बंद कर दिया एंड डिसआर्म ऑल द इंग्लिशमैन, और जितने भी इंग्लिशमैन थे उनके सारे वेपन्स छीन लिए एंड ब्लॉकेज द इंग्लिश शिप, यानी जितने भी ब्रिटिशर्स की शिप थी उसको ब्लॉक कर दिया एंड देन ही मार्च टू कैलकाटा। उसके बाद वो कैलकाटा गया to establish the control over the company and fort there. और here is the news of fail of Calcutta. जब उसने ये न्यूज सुनी कि कलकत्ता में कंपनी जो है फेल होगी इन द सेंस और उनका रूल नहीं रहा है, वो नीचे गिर रहे हैं, द कंपनी ऑफिशियल इन मद्रास सेंट फोर्स अंडर द कमांड ऑफ रॉबर्ट क्लाइव। जब उनको पता चला कि सिराजुद्दौला हमसे लड़ने आ रहा है तो ब्रिटेन से फिर अपने ऑफिसर्स के साथ कौन आया, रॉबर्ट क्लाइव। रेनफोर्स बाय द नेवल फ्लीट, वो भी रेन फ्लीट के साथ आया, नेवल फ्लीट मीन्स द नेवी। Prolonged negotiation with the Nawab followed. Finally, यानी जब उनके बीच में negotiation finally in 1757, Robert Clive led the company army against सिराजुद्दौला at the Plassey. फिर इन्होंने सिराजुद्दौला प्लासी में इन्होंने लड़ाई की। One of the main reason for defeat of the Rawaz, क्या उसका main reason था? The Robert led the company army against the Sirajuddaulah at Plassey. One of the main reasons of defeat of Nawab was the force led by the Mir Jafar, यानी जो सिराजुद्दौला के अंदर जो मीर जाफर लड़ रहा था, one of the Sirajuddaulah command never fought for the battle, वो कभी battle नहीं लड़ा। Clive had managed to secure his support to promise to make him Nawab आफ्टर क्रशिंग द सिराजुद्दौला। अब यहाँ पे क्या हुआ, जो सिराजुद्दौला और रॉबर्ट क्लाइव के बीच में जो जंग चल रही थी, उस बीच में मीर जाफर ने धोखा दे दिया। कैसे धोखा दे दिया? रॉबर्ट क्लाइव ने उसको ये लालच दे दिया कि अगर तुम हमारा साथ देते हो तो हम तुम्हें बंगाल का नवाब बना देंगे। अगर उसने धोखा नहीं दिया होता तो सिराजुद्दौला जीत जाता। ही विल यूज टू won the battle, and must be that it might happen if the Sirajuddaulah won this battle. So maybe the Britishers will go sorry would went from this country. If Mir Jafar didn't did that, so till now we can see what are the perspective things. So in this chapter, what we have covered is like how the British used to came in India, what kind of trade they did, what the scenario they have changed in our country. Like they earlier they used to come for the trade purpose for the different spices, just like pepper, cardamom, cinnamon, and they come for the cotton and the silk. They used to buy the product at the cheaper price, and they used to sell in the different parts of their own country, in the Europe, in the Britain, at the very higher price. Then there is the competition started between the trading companies in the European. After that, when then they started towards to establish their factory in the Bengal, where earlier which the firman which is passed by the Aurangzeb, they said that you can take our products from the India towards your country Britain in the free of cost or the duty free. But later on, when the Sirajuddaulah came, when the Ali Wardi Khan came, and when the Murshid Kil Khan came, they said that we didn't give you the duty free, we didn't give you the concession, you have to take this particular product at a very high price. So these are the by this situation, when the Britishers are not when their demands are not fulfilled, they are not want to negotiate with these people, so they start battling. So the biggest battle is the Battle of Plassey, in which the traitor, I'm using the word the traitor, which is done by the Mir Jafar, and this is the thing where the Sirajuddaulah is defeated, because he go towards the Britisher on the which greed that the Robert Clive give the Nawabship, or you can say the Nawab of the Bengal, that after the Sirajuddaulah, who will become the Nawab of that? That is the Mir Jafar. So this is the first part of this video, which we have discussed. In the next video we will discuss the next few points which is left in this chapter. I hope you like this video. Thank you.